Hello, hello. Roland is here with me to say hello. We are broadcasting from our home office, as usual. It is a beautiful day here in Colorado Springs. Probably about 65 degrees, sunny, blue skies. Everybody's out. All the dogs are jumping and barking and happy. And all the cats are miserable, as usual. And all the people are sick and tired of being at home. But we're here with one out of our 3 kids. The other 2, one's taking a nap upstairs, the other one's watching the Mighty Pups. So let's go, Mighty Pups. Hold his attention for at least an hour, please. That would be very mighty of you. We are going to be doing the letter L today, and lettering the letter L. Morgan and I have been searching our souls, searching our hard drives, searching every possible bite of space that we may have, and I think the letter H might be gone forever. I might try to just post the image that I have of the class that I've saved, just for reference, or try to just do a quick little run through, if these guys will let me. Especially this one. Hi. If he'll let me have some time. But other than that, I think the H might be gone. But everything else is up on our YouTube channel. So if you've missed any part of our lesson, you are welcome to grab it. It is on the Ladyfingers Letterpress YouTube channel. The link is in our bio. So feel free to go back and check out any of the lessons that we have. I'm going to see if I can pop this baby over to Morgan. She is just ordering some custom rubber stamps, and she's going to be in a second. All right, well, I hope everybody's doing well. We are keeping our spirits up by enjoying the sunshine and watching videos from the Small Business Association to tell us what the heck we're going to possibly do to get out of this mess. Seems like there's a lot of really awesome programs out there for small businesses, for freelancers and entrepreneurs, in terms of a stimulus loans and grants and stuff. It'd be really great if we could figure out some kind of a grant situation for us personally, because who likes paying back a loan? Especially when we get on the other side of this, it's going to be a little nuts to try to think about being in debt after this. So Morgan, luckily, is a mastermind genius extraordinaire, and she's been doing a lot of research. If any of you have questions or want to ask Morgan what she's learned.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, never mind.
I can't handle anyone else's business right now.
Never mind. If you have any ideas or suggestions and you want to...
There you go. That's much better. Sorry. Know your limits. I can't handle anybody else's business right
That's why I love Morgan. She can tell you what she can do, and she is very clear about telling you what she can't. In terms of what I can do, I can't tell you anything about finances or small business loans, but I can tell you about the letter L. The letter L is a beautiful letter, and we're going to be doing that today. So grab your pens, your paper, your iPads, whatever your poison is today. I have my iPad here connected to my iMac through Sidecar, which is a little Bluetooth monitor mirroring thing. So it allows me to use Photoshop on my iPad, which is pretty cool, except this is my mail. I don't want that. I don't think I need that today. Well, I will, but I just don't want. I'm just ignoring it for now. Yesterday we did the letter K. It was a really fun letter form to be doing with you guys.
You should tell the story about our student who saw the sign.
Oh, and it opened up her eyes, she saw the sun. Okay, so do you remember their name?
They also wrote nice things to us about the
class. Okay. So Star Student wrote us a message and said that they saw...
They drove past, yeah.
Why don't you tell the story?
Because I'm breastfeeding.
I'm not going to film you, but they can hear you.
Okay.
Look at me while Morgan talks.
Okay, so we got a message on Instagram this morning from a really sweet student who said they were driving past their botanical garden who got a new sign, and they were really excited to know that it was a sans serif mono weight typeface on the new sign.
See that?
And that made our day. Right there. We were done for. It was 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
and
man.
we were just so happy.
That's awesome.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing little things like that.
Yeah.
You don't even know what joy that brings us.
That's amazing. Yeah. Mono weight sans serif letter forms are everywhere. And now you're never going to not see them. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that story. And I feel like the Charlie bucket just got my golden ticket, golden bag in the mail. Oh, yeah. Shannon and family. Yep, we send all of our mail. See, no cardboard, she says. We are limiting our germs by using golden packages. So anytime somebody places an order on our online shop, you can expect a little golden Charlie and the Chocolate Factory package outside your doorstep. And then you wipe it down with your bleach wipe or whatever, what have you. Morgan, do you think you can help me with flipping this thing around and showing me how it goes?
Yep.
Okay.
You ready?
If you guys are here for the first time, hello, welcome. We have a couple of really quick things. I know a lot of you guys are return students, and I'm so grateful for that. That's awesome. You guys deserve A+ all the way. If you guys are psyched about hand lettering and want to do more of it at home, we have, what's that? We have our hand lettering kits. Comes in a little bag. It comes with our 3 favorite pens, a Micron, a Tombow, and a Kuretake Fudagachi. And then, of course, our booklet that goes through this whole class and also gives you spaces to practice. If you want just the booklet, that's available on our website just as a download. If you just want some paper, that is just free. We're just giving it to you for free on our website, free download. We have practice sheets in blank and also slant for script style, and also one that is annotated that shows you where the baseline is, where the ascender line is, and the descender line, and so on. We also have some other free downloads on our website. If you guys like motivational posters and things on Pinterest like that, this totally falls into that category. This is backwards, but it says "We will always figure it out." It's a print I made for Morgan that we are now giving to you guys for free. So that's a free download if you want to print it out and put it on your wall or make it your wallpaper on your phone. That's great. Other things, we went through this yesterday, so if you want to watch the whole video, it's up on our YouTube. But all of these cards...
Not those two.
Oh, not those two? Okay. All of these cards, we are now offering 4 in a pack. They're like little... pandemic packs or whatever you want to call them. So there are discounts, 4 cards for $20. Those are on our website too. We also have stamps in case you guys need stamps. But we also have this class for free, which is awesome. And if you guys ever wanted to come and take our class, we are so psyched that you're here. We have taught this class all over the place. We've been from California to Iceland. We've had people travel from all over the place to come see us for our classes. So we are just excited to be able to now offer this to you all wherever you are, and to have you on board to learn some lettering. Because what else are you doing with your afternoon, right? I mean, besides maybe catching up on some Tiger King, or
working from home.
trying to work from home.
Or wrangling children.
Which is kind of a job in itself, right? Dun, dun, dun. All right, you ready to hook us up here?
Yeah.
Okay, Morgan's gonna grab the phone. We're gonna look at our screen here.
Oh, it's Patty. Hi, Patty.
This is yesterday's lesson, drawing a bunch of K's. So if you missed yesterday's class and you're interested about what all of this stuff means and why I drew all these all over the place, you can look on our YouTube channel. It's all there. So the letter L, what we are first going to do is go up here, and we are going to draw a monoweight sans serif. And
Hi, Jordan.
hello, everybody. Sans serif, meaning without a serif. And serif, of course, meaning the little feet on the end of a letter. So it's like, you know, this is the zoom in, you know, right here. That's actually what is there. It's just very small. You can't see it, but that's actually what it actually is. Morgan, all your friends are here today. I'm jealous.
It's Sam from Near Modern Disaster.
Oh, I love you, Sam. And I love your cards, and I miss you. And our kid is making the biggest smile right now. I think he misses you, too. And when I say monoweight, I mean that this is one weight right here, one weight. So no contrast in these sans serif letter forms. It's going to be the weight of the stroke, and that is it. Let me go backwards here a little bit. Okay. So when I draw my letter L, and I'm going to say draw instead of write because hand lettering is the art of drawing letters, whereas calligraphy is the art of handwriting. So this class we're going to be really focusing on drawing the letters. You looking at me? You laughing? You silly baby. Our
Rachel
twins.
Popak's here.
Rachel Montgomery Popek.
She's here.
Oh my God, Rachel! You know what? You told me you were going to play Words with Friends with me, and then you never did. So you're dead to me. You're dead to me.
Serious.
You know, when someone's like, yeah, I love Words with Friends, I'll play with you, and then they don't play with you.
Maybe Zoom in.
Breaks my
I think you could get a little closer.
Broke my heart. Maybe she's not really my friend. Maybe she's trying to tell me she doesn't like me anymore. All right, so this is going to be our stem right here, which is basically that sort of backbone of our letter form.
She says she's way too famous now to play with you.
Rachel is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I knew it. She is a famous comedian. And I'm just a lowly hand letterer. All right. Rachel Popek is actually a famous comedian. And I'm lucky that she's my friend. She's one of the most hilarious people I've ever met. All right. So now we have a monoweight, capital L. This monoweight, meaning this weight is basically as close as possible as to the weight of this stroke as well. And what we're really trying to do here too is, you know, if you guys have been with me for these other letter forms, you know, really trying to maintain a consistent width. You know, if you were drawing a letter E or your letters F's or B's, you really want this L to sort of fall into that same width as those letter forms. Of course, this is a monoweight and not a mono. What the heck is the other word? My brain is not working. Mono width. Is that it?
Roland.
Is that curry? Well, my brain. I'm having a brain fart here. Monowidth is what? I think that's the word. I don't know why that's so funny and it's not like connecting with my synapses, but a mono. Okay, I'm sorry. My brain's really not working here
Maybe
today.
just come back to it.
Yeah, but that's when you have all of your letters the same
monolith.
Width. It's not a monolith.
Thank you.
I know it's definitely not that.
I know. I think that's Nancy. Nancy, is that you? Monolith, everybody.
That's a monolith. I'm talking about like fonts like Courier. Oops. Whoa, that was not me. I promise. Where your M is the same width as your N.
Oh.
And your I. What is the name of that? Why am I spacing out on that? Oh,
someone will tell us. Hold
yeah,
on. You've explained what it is. Hold on.
So, this is your L's are not going to be the same width as your
monospace.
Monospace.
Thank you, Stefano.
Jeez, is that so hard for me? Monospace.
Well, probably because there's a few other hard things going on right now.
God. Thank you.
Lee also says monospace.
You guys are so smart. You don't need this class. I need to be taking your class, for God's sakes. Thank you. You guys get extra stars.
Credit,
Extra credit. So we are not doing a monospace lettering style. So you want your L's to be consistent with like your E's and your P's and your B's and your F's, things like that. Now we can get to the lowercase mono-weight. Now I'm going to be saying monospace for everything. Mono-weight lowercase L's. Now, as you guys can see here, we made this L from the baseline to the cap line. But we have all these other lines here too. What do these means? Mean line, also referred to as the X height, is the line that our lowercase letters go to, so our A's and our O's and things like that. Descent line goes for our lowercase letters that have a descender, so like a lowercase g, for example. And our ascent lines are for lowercase letters like a lowercase L or a D, for example. So what that means is your lowercase letters with ascenders are actually taller than your capital letters, which is kind of a cool thing to think about, because I always thought, oh, your capital letters, those are the big ones, right? The caps, big, capital equals big. But nope, actually your lowercase letters with ascenders go a little bit higher up than your capital letters.
I'm going to go change a diaper. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, I that sounds a good idea.
Be right back to read everybody's comments.
All right. So our lowercase letter L, you can draw that in a mono-weight style. You can draw that in as a, one sort of gigantic rectangle like this. That also could be construed as an uppercase I, if you don't have any context about this height here. What I kind of like to do with the monospace lowercase L is to sort of give it a little notch at the top. And this just kind of indicates that this is different than a capital I, and just adds a little bit of variation. The other day I was telling the story about this road in Denver that's called Illiff Avenue. And if it wasn't for the little notches on the top of the I, it would be really kind of hard to read. Because this is the way that this word looks, and it's kind of the most ridiculous word, and it kind of throws me off every time. But having, those three letters next to each other, having that little slant on the top, I think makes a really big difference. Although it's really not that pronounced when you're driving 75 miles an hour down 470. This one's a little bit big here. But just to illustrate how this can help increase the legibility if you were doing if you had some capital I's next to an L. We'll zoom out of that again. See, that's really just kind of hard to read, but I think this is a little bit easier. So little things like that can really help with the legibility on something as simple as a lowercase L, which doesn't have any other parts of it constructed to make it a more complex letter form. It's pretty basic. So what we're going to do next is we are going to do a sans serif. We're going to get rid of the mono-weight thing, and we're just going to do a sans serif with some contrast. And when I say contrast, I mean that there is going to be some differentiate. It's going to be I clearly haven't had enough coffee today. The shapes are going to have some different stroke widths to them. So in case of the capital letter L, we're going to kind of come up here. We're going to draw our sort of base structure here, the stem. And then here on the bottom little terminal crossbar guy, leg, I'm going to make this thickness just a little bit thinner than this. So this is not really, this is kind of medium contrast. You could have an L that has a very high contrast, and that would be a very, very thick stroke, and then perhaps a very, very thin one. This is high contrast. And then a low contrast would be, hey Gio. Hi everybody.
Hi, Bot. I think this bandana is very cute. Gio showed me he has one just like you do.
I wore a bandana. He says, I like your scarf. And then I said, do you want one? And then I got one for him. So this is probably just like a real, a hairline smaller than this. So this would be low contrast.
What nice manners.
Yes, Gio? Yes, honey?
So what is this?
That's a magnet. That helps charge your pen. Can I show you? Maybe you want to, put this together for me. Oh, those are my pencils. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Right here. Too many pencil cases. All right, check this out, Gio. All right, put one down on the ground. Okay, these are two together, right? So 1, 2, and then what you Here, lay them out like I just had them, and I'll show you something that's really cool.
Hey, Squash Blossom.
What's up, Colorado Springs? Okay, lay them down, and then you go, boink, and then you go, boink. Here, play with those for a little bit, okay?
Hello. I'm Mr. Pencil.
Hi, Mr. Pencil. How are you? Oh, good. So.
I must have a fight together.
No, let's all get along and be peaceful and love each other. Okay, enough of that.
Oh no, I'm sticky.
No, you're sticking to the metal because it's a magnet. Gio loves magnets.
You're slipping.
What else has magnets that you play with, Gio?
My guitar.
Your magnetiles, that's right.
Help.
And your trains too, right?
Help me.
Well, want to see if some of those stick to your trains? Why don't you go get some of your trains, see if those stick. So if we're doing a lowercase L that has contrast, we're really only dealing with this very simple shape. But something that we can add some interest to with an L, lowercase L that has contrast. Yeah, Rolly, you like this, don't you? You're going to get really good at lettering. You sit here every day and you watch me drawing letters. You could do something that has kind of like a little flange, almost like there's a typeface called Optima, and Optima just is like slightly sort of flanged out. Optima is really popular in hospitals for some reason, so if you have the misfortune right now of being near a hospital, maybe looking for Optima will help you distract yourself from more difficult things that are happening in this world right now. So this has some contrast to it. This is thicker here and thinner here, but for a typical letter L, sans serif letter L, you could also get away with just lettering this sort of notched letter form up to the ascender. Yeah, no, we're not doing we're doing L. Maybe he's trying to say L.
A good conversationalist, Rolly.
Yeah, he's good. Frankie's still sleeping upstairs.
Yeah.
So that is the sans serif style L. L, yeah. Maybe you're trying to say L. L? L? Yeah? Do you want to say that again for the camera? Yeah, he's camera shy.
He's talking to you.
Yes. All right, you got that on the screen here? Yeah. All right, so let's move over to a serif style. He's really, really excited about the serifs. And serif, again, meaning that it has... Oh, wait, I deleted that. Okay. Serif means it has the little feet. It's not without feet. It has feet. And when I draw my capital letter L's, what I do... What? Are you singing? Cool.
Yes, Squash Blossom. We will get to some script in a little bit. That's the last of the letters we do. We start with sans serif,
then serif, and then script. So
you haven't missed it yet.
Yep, we save the best for last. But the reason we also do that is because learning the serif and learning the sans serif construction of the letter forms is really essential to understanding the construction of a script alphabet. So it may seem a little silly, because for me it's very, I'm like, oh, this is a very basic understanding, but you really have to understand where the thick parts are, the thin parts are, where serifs usually fit in to the structure of a letter form. So I promise you, it will help in the long run. Frankie's crying? Okay. Can you position that camera before you go?
Yep, I'm going to put Rolly in the little bouncer.
All right. So to do our capital letter L's, I'm going to start with my my stem. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here at the cap line, and I'm going to kick out my...
There you are. Sorry.
I'll start over again. I'm going to start my cap line. I'm going to kick out my serif there to the left, and then start...
Hi, Lara. And Claire, we still owe you an email. We haven't forgot.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I can't see the phone because Morgan positions it. But I have now picked up my pen because I have drawn started from the cap line. I jumped out, gave myself a little serif there, and I came back and filled in the serif here. And then I'm going to finish the rest of my stem and then come out and draw my serif there at the top, and then I'm going to fill that shape in. Yeah, Rolly, I know you just want to be part of the conversation. So when I draw my capital L's here, you'll notice that I have a little bit of a bracket right there, a nice round sort of shoulder to that serif. But here's a pretty much straight 90-degree angle. And then again, I have that little bracket and then a 90-degree angle on this edge there. And up here, I really want to try to echo that same bracket down here and the bracket up there. And I want to try my best to try to make sure that these serifs are pretty even in their distance away from the letter form. You should see this kid right now. He's holding up his hand like, yeah, and this is how you do it. Yeah, this is how you do it. My serif up here, the distance of this serif can be a little bit arbitrary right now because I'm just drawing this on this own. But if I were to do like another, uppercase letter, like an E after this, for example, I'd really try to make that as consistent as possible. Because when you draw Roman serif caps, it's really nice to have like a very strong, consistent. I hear you, Rolly. I hear you, and I love you. I know. Okay. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about you. Don't worry. I got you. So, when you do some, all caps serif letter, he is talking up a storm.
Rolly.
Hi, Frankie. Try to keep those serifs pretty consistent. And also, in that same regard, trying to make this width, pretty similar to that width of that same letter form. If you've been paying attention, you remember us talking about how the top of your letter is always smaller than the bottom of your letter. This L is going to be that largest bottom width. So doing another serif letter form, we are going to experiment with a different type of serif. We're going to give ourselves that stem. Let's do a Rolly. I know. You just want to be a big kid. I know. But right now, we just need to teach a class. Would you be able to take him, maybe put him in the swing over there?
I'm feeding the other one.
I know. Yeah, okay. We have a little bit of a shortage on parental hands right now, so Hope you guys can.
Do you want to go pop him in this swing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that because I don't know if anyone can hear what I'm saying. Come here, baby. Come here, you. Let's go. Let's go for a ride. Let's go in this way.
We're taking a brief pause, everyone. We're still here. We're just relocating the talking child safely to the other room. He's gonna go for a little swing ride. Seems so quiet all of a sudden without. You're back.
I'm back. I really wanted to make sure he was like secure in there because that swing, he'll like shoot out of that thing like 60 miles an hour. Yes, Gio?
So you have 2 chocolates.
You had 2 chocolates?
And a chocolate egg and a chocolate kiss.
Where did you get chocolate from?
For me, Easter. There was a chocolate egg for my egg.
Did you give yourself chocolate?
The chocolate egg. Millie had the chocolate egg for me
Okay.
to put in the Easter egg, and Millie gave me another one to put in my mouth.
Oh, you gave him chocolate?
I gave him the chocolate egg because he asked, but I didn't hear about the chocolate kiss.
So
Busted.
so
busted.
I was just sneaking up.
You were just sneaking up? Okay.
So no
great.
one sees me. Eating chocolate.
Listen, you can have chocolate. We just have to ask first, okay? All right, we are going to move on to a slab serif here, folks. And that means a slab serif, yeah.
Can I help you?
Yeah, you want to help
let's
me draw
watch.
a slab serif? Here we go.
Can I do a different?
You know what? Let me show you what a slab serif is first. So we're going to draw the big old hunk, and I'm trying to hold my iPad so he can also see what's going on here. This is a nice...
Are you teaching me?
I am teaching. Well, I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to hold this up and draw at the same time, which is a little tricky. But we are drawing a capital L with a slab serif.
What?
Super chunky.
Can I help you?
Yeah, you want to help? Okay. That is a really cool letter L. That is like a Clarendon Bold or a Rockwell.
Someone whose name has chocolate in it says chocolate is life. I mean,
Yeah, they know.
What?
They know. Good
I'm
job.
sucking it up so somebody knows.
Yeah, good job, baby. Okay, can I have the pen now, please?
Eyes. No, don't draw. I want to see on the phone.
You want to see me on the phone? Okay, come
No,
look on the
we'll
phone.
see.
you see his drawing.
You want to see your drawing on the phone? There it is. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. Now, if we wanted to do a serif that had a more like modern serif in a very, very hairline serif, you could do something like that.
Crying.
He's just talking. Do you hear it sounds a little different than a cry? It sounds like a talky talk. Do you want to go have a conversation with him?
So these are different kinds of serifs. Slab serif, hairline serif. This is also considered a modern style. And fonts like Bodoni or Dido. Or you can have a more, transitional serif, like Baskerville
I got the scooter. What?
or Garamond.
I got a scooter.
You got a scooter? I know you got a scooter. You got that from Bruce. That was so nice of him. So these are different kinds of typefaces that look like that. So in case you're home and you're saying to yourself, I'd really like to draw this letter L, but I don't know where the serif goes, you can type some letters into your word processing program and set it in Garamond or Baskerville or something like that, or Bodoni or Dido or Clarendon or Rockwell, and those would be similar fonts that would be in those styles in case you want to practice the slab serif or the modern or the transitional. And now we are going to do some lowercase letters. What's what, honey? That is the phone holder. Holds the phone. So if you are doing a serif letter form in the lowercase L in the serif style.
Excuse me, Bob.
Yes, Gio.
Is there some way if I can back the scooter up on here?
Back the scooter up?
Wait, on here, is there something like a machine and here can make it backwards? Here?
I don't know, baby.
Pull it over.
Okay, so what I've done here are two different types of lowercase L's with transitional serifs. This one is angled a little bit, and if you've been following our class, you'll know that I also, make my lowercase b's like that with this slanted serif at the top. You can also do a, sort of straight across serif, but when you're drawing your lowercase L's, you always want that serif to be off to the left. You don't draw a serif that is on both sides, because then that will just kind of look like a gigantic capital I. So don't do that one. If you wanted to do a slab serif, lowercase L, it almost looks like you've taken a lowercase I and just kind of zipped it up.
Or like a number 1.
Or like a number 1. Or again, in this modern style. I'm really cramming this in here to the very last edge of the line. So different kinds of serifs here. We have our transitional, our slab, and our modern serifs. And now we can get to the script alphabet. Thank you, Squash Blossom, for your patience. And everybody. Why is that letter here? That is funny. Oh, okay. All right, that's funny. So what we're going to do here is, if you guys have been following, you know our little trick about starting our lowercase letters in the script style.
Lowercase or uppercase?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do uppercase first. Thank you. I just switched on my script guide, which if you guys have downloaded our line guides at home, this is the same guide that I'm using on the screen. That is available as a download on our website if you would like to download it for free and print it out. We are going to start with our capital L in the script style. And what we're going to really try to do is these lines, if you're wondering what these lines are for, we're trying to maintain a sort of angled axis. And if you've been looking at our serif and our sans serif letter forms, we are operating at a very straight up and down axis, which means that there's no variation left and right on the sides of those axes. But these slanted axes are really helpful if you are wanting to practice one letter form, all in a row. What would be a great exercise is actually filling up an entire row with one type of letter, just practicing it over and over again, because that'll be really good practice for you. But it also helps as a good guide when you're trying to draw a whole word and trying to maintain the consistency of a diagonal axis. So when you're drawing your capital L's, what we're going to do is, the basic form is something like this. Now, I know that was just really fast and kind of, it maybe looked kind of easy, but I've been drawing a lot of L's with the name Ladyfingers Letterpress a lot of capital L's in our business history, so I've had quite a bit of practice. But this form is also just like a very sort of basic script, shape. You could really fill a whole sheet of paper and then some with just doing a bunch of these shapes. This like infinity loop. It's a really good shape to get your hand nice and loose, and it's a really popular form that I use in a lot of ornament and flourishes in my work. So go ahead and just if you really just want to practice and let loose, just start drawing a bunch of these, infinity shapes. But as you can see, the infinity shape is really, the L is just like a very extended infinity shape. It's just kind of pushed up and down a little bit. What I do is, anytime I have a capital letter that has a beginning or an end point. So if you look at the letter L, right, you have this is the beginning, and that's kind of the end, right? Or you could say that's the beginning and that's the end, but whichever one you want to call beginning and end, that's fine. But you have two terminals, that's the point. And whenever you have a terminal as part of your letter form, you can really use those as an opportunity to draw them out, turn them into flourishes, really kind of pull them into your illustrations so that it becomes part of the entire layout. It becomes like a more decorative, interactive part of your layout. So that's kind of fun. And L's are one of the best letters to be doing any sort of integration with the rest of your layout. And I can get into more of that a little bit later. I do want to practice the L a little bit more with you guys because it can be a little bit tricky, especially if this is one of your first chimes drawing script with me. Oh my gosh, you are so strong. What are you doing? Holy moly. Carrying your scooter through the house. So let's try that again. We're going to start up here somewhere above the mean line.
Watch this glow.
Let me see. Wow.
Good job.
And you're going to try to hit the baseline somewhere around here, but you could be above a little bit or below. It doesn't really matter. But what I really want to emphasize is when you draw your letter forms, I really want you to try to draw that thickening part of your stroke as almost as quickly as possible when you just finished drawing that letter, because your hand sort of has this, that's amazing, baby. Your hand has this kind of muscle memory that it remembers the shape that you just drew. And so it's a little bit easier to
you get this up?
To recreate that shape if you had just drawn it. If you draw your L and you just go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then you go and get a cup of coffee and you come back and you want to come back and draw that stem, or your 3-year-old is carrying a scooter around the house and wants to show you, and then you get back to drawing your stem, you may find yourself trying to really slowly sort of trace that initial shape, and it's just not gonna be very easy for you. It's gonna make things a little bit harder for you. So if I could give you any piece of advice, really try to follow up with thickening that stroke as quickly as possible after drawing that initial form, because that's gonna really help keep your hand in that same sort of flow and in the same sort of movement. Now I'm noticing that my L is just like a little bit, here's my axis, but I feel like my L's are kind of going like this a little bit. And
cat.
You're a cat.
A cat. Watch out for
So
your butt.
watch out for your butt. Any other kids?
Take off your clothes.
Our kid has memorized Frozen, but all of the parts where Olaf is talking about his butt and taking off his clothes. I don't know what it is, but maybe that's just where we are.
I'm a cat.
And you're a cat. So I just tried drawing.
Mr. Clan.
I just tried drawing an L that followed this axis, and it didn't look that great to me, but I'm looking at all of my other ones, and they all kind of have a very consistent axis going like this. So I'm just going to keep following this natural axis and trying not to worry too much about staying on top of that line here. I also noticed that my L tends to slant a little bit more than my other letter forms, so maybe that's just something I'm working with here too. But if you have a capital L and you have some other letters that are following it, using this terminal here, this crossbar foot, as like sort of creating your own baseline is kind of a fun way to use script as a guide to making a more undulating baseline instead of having like a very straight baseline. Yes, Gio.
So can we go on a walk?
We can go on a walk after this, okay, baby?
I think a walk is a great idea.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this L, and I'm going to pull out that little tail here, and I'm going to use that as the baseline for the rest of my word. So I'm going to sort of imagine that my baseline has just kind of picked up, and I'm going to try to keep a sort of as consistent as possible distance between my letter.
We're going to go as soon as it's done with the class.
My line and the sort of line of this baseline up here.
You know how long it's going to take? It's going to take about 10 minutes more.
Yep, I'm almost done. We are just about to do the lowercase script L.
Yes, honey, good manners. What?
Are we going to pull this out in this second?
We're almost done, sweetheart, okay?
Yeah, in a few minutes, about 10 minutes, and we can go on a walk.
All right, so we are going to do the...
Are we going to pull this out?
Are we going to what?
Throw it out? No, we're not going to throw it out, baby. All right, so we have a lowercase L that we're now going to do. And if you guys have been watching our lowercase script, you're going to know the little trick. We're going to start here first. We're going to draw our lowercase L as if we were starting in the middle of the word and there was a letter coming before it. Yes, Gio?
L is done after.
Yep, we're almost done with our hour. So I just made this one mark. I kind of stopped a little bit below the X height. Gio, I just need 5 more minutes, okay, baby?
Excuse me.
What do you need, sweetie?
So it's impossible. If people know what is snack time, and if grown-ups in snack time and some grown-ups go to class and they will be show up.
Yeah.
You think the grown-ups in the class need a snack time?
Yeah.
I bet they also think they need a snack time.
Yes. Time for a snack and time to draw some lowercase L's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make start my line here. I'm going to stop below that X height, sort of in the 3/4 mark, and I'm going to jog it out.
And stop the bicycle.
Okay, Gio, I hear you.
Come with me.
Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to thicken up that stroke
You don't
here.
need to be scared. Come with me.
But
Let's change Frankie's diaper so we're ready to go on our walk.
So what I really want you guys to think about here is twisting this ribbon. You really don't want it to... There's your axis.
Let's change Frank's diaper.
You don't want your ribbon to be crossing over that line. So you're really trying to you're really going to try to sort of elegantly, really try to funnel that ribbon down to that the contrast. I'm sorry. Oh, too much going on over here today. I apologize. So you really want to sort of twist that ribbon. Imagine you have this ribbon here and you're twisting it sideways. Your ribbon, it won't twist like this. If you twist it, you'll get this little pinch here. So really try to pinch it so it joins that single stroke mark, and you don't really want it to go too far over that axis point. So if you guys notice, I was kind of spending a little bit of time on this one, and I kind of feel like this is getting a little bit into like over the axis point. You can tell that there's just like a slight thickness over the axis. I feel like that is just as much as I want to get close to that point without going over it. And again, if you guys have any questions about this jogging thing, the reason that we sort of start here and then jog it out is because we're really trying to give ourselves as much space in this counter as possible, while also sort of tricking the eye to think that we've made a single loop like that. So the reason that we don't do this single loop is because look at the difference between these two. You end up with a really skinny loop if you don't jog it out here, but you're able to have a much wider loop here, and it really is kind of a trick with the eye. You know, you can't really tell that you have sort of disjointed this form. It looks pretty similar here as it does to here, to me at least. If you are starting your L at the beginning of a word, you are also welcome to, because we have that rule of this rule here of your beginning and your end points having the potential for lots of different filigree or ornament, you can do something like this. You can start your L with a nice, ornamental flourish, something like that. But let's do a word that starts with an L and has an L in the middle of it. So let's do the word
Allow.
I want to start with an L and have an L in the middle. Maybe little.
There you go. Thank you.
So little is kind of a cool word because it has what we call a ligature. You could make a TT ligature, an ITT ligature, in which case you can make the I. Oh, geez, sorry, my pen slipped. And you can connect that with your T's. So this is an example of your L with a loop and an L without the loop. And so that's kind of a neat way of drawing those L's in two different ways. If anybody has any questions about today's lesson, feel free to DM us. We will try to upload this lesson as quickly as possible, but as you have been able to witness, we have our hands full a little bit at the moment while we're trying to run our business. We're doing our best to make Ladyfingers the best it can possibly be right now. If you guys have enjoyed this class, we appreciate that. We are offering this for free because we love you and we want you guys to be working on your lettering skills with us while we survive this whole crazy thing. If there's any of you out there who happen to be still getting a paycheck or have the funds and have the means and you want to share that with us, we are super appreciative of it. We have a Venmo account, Arley Rose, ARLEYROSE. If you guys want to throw us a couple bucks, that'd be awesome. If not, no pressure, no guilt, no worries. We are here to just spend some time with you and to work on our lettering with you. So if you guys have any questions about the letter L or any other letter that we've done so far, just reach out, tag us on your Instagram, #lettering-with-Ladyfingers. We'd love to see what you guys are working on. We'd love to see what you guys made today. We'd love to see what kind of ornament or filigree you guys did with your capital L's or your lowercase L's. Or
Show
even,
us your practice sheet.
Yeah, show us your practice sheets, show us what you're working on. We'd love to see it. And again, we hope you guys join us here tomorrow, same time, 2 o'clock Colorado time, on Instagram Live.
For the best letter.
She thinks it's the best letter. I think the best letter is A. She happens to think the best letter is M. Whatever. But it's going to be a good one.
It's a great letter.
M is a really good letter. There's lots of different ways to draw M. M is going to be a jam-packed with really cool stuff. L is just kind of like, oh, what am I going to talk about for a whole hour? But I certainly figured out something to talk about, apparently.
Good script letters.
There are some really good script letters. M is definitely one of the best ones. I agree. Okay.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys. Have a great day.